Right, so I'm hoping for a nice landscape shot here with this telephoto zoom lens. It's the, just in case I didn't say, the 100 to 400, and I just want to take a look at this shot. So what I'm going to do is just going to try and juggle cameras. I just need to take the pressure off this tripod. So I'm going to use the touchscreen, okay, because I know what's going to happen with this. It should look really good. So I'm just going to zoom right in at 400. And I'm just going to lock it off before I set the focus, because I want you to see how it focuses. Let's hope you can see the screen. So I know that the image I want is around here. Well, there you go, I'm not too far off. It's actually there. So this is where I was. Old John, you know, just the other day. So let's see if I can just get a nice composition. You need to bear with me, obviously I'm trying to juggle this. Okay, by using the tilty screen I'm able to keep the tripod quite low and use the screen rather than having to crouch down. So that's a good feature. Well, I think I've done about enough now with this lens, and I think it's now time to do a little bit of landscape and have a bit of fun with the native lenses. I'm going to use the 11 to 22mm lens, which I bought as an extra addition to the camera. So I think, you know, that works out on the crop at about 18mm at the bottom end and probably around 35 on the top end. So I can imagine we'll be using the bottom end for some nice landscapes. Okay, so now I've switched to a native lens, which is the 11 to 22mm, and the thing you have to do once you put this lens on is unlock it, and you do that by, see that, pushing it and opening the lens up. I'll show you. You push and twist, that's it.
Taking over this town, they should worry, but these problems aside,
in and around Bradgate Park, one of the things you find a lot of that are interesting are trees. Trees, amazing. You know, they're so old, they've got a story to tell, they're weathered. They're just fantastic. I love them. It's crazy. So take this one for example. We've got a brilliant bit of foreground, middle ground and background interest. So I'm just gonna level this shot up for you and let you take a look. Oh, it's brilliant, I love it. So here we've got foreground. It looks like an old, if you was in the desert it'd be an old skull, wouldn't it, laying there from an old water buffalo or old bison or whatever live out in the desert that's cow-like. And then we've got our tree in the composition to the right, and then we've got the amazing Old John and the memoriam in the background. So let's have a look, let's take the shot, see what we've got. So one of the other things I wanted to say about this this camera is that the grip is so comfortable. You know you're not going to drop it. I mean, I've hauled it around all day with no strap and it seems to be perfect. So yeah, that's a good point. Sound of peacocks. Maybe it's just me, but one of the other great things about this camera is when you're using it in manual setting, how quick you can adjust your aperture and your shutter speed. Your ISO is literally, you can change that actually, you can put it on a function button, but for this it's literally just pull up on the circle, it says there ISO, you push up on there and then you just use the same ring. It's ease. It's got a built-in flash, but to me, the person that thought about putting that built-in flash on, the only thing, you know, it's got like it's got this tilt system on it, which is so strange. So you pop it up like so and you tilt it so you can bounce it. So you can bounce it off a ceiling. But for me, the only thing what I'd really want to bounce this off is the bloke's head that invented it. Because it's not good at all. You know, when you take a photo and you've got the flash on, all you see is a great big shadow of where the lens is. So what good's that to anybody? Not good. Now, I'm not your mum, but a quick tip, keep hydrated. When you come out on these trips, even though we're only walking a few miles, it's quite uneven. The weather's been strange, hot and cold, and you do tend to get dehydrated. So, you know, a breakfast bar, something like that can give you a boost, but always bottle of water. Okay.
Yes, this love's not good enough. It's time to let it go. Our weary hearts just fall apart.
While I'm just walking off to the next shot, I'm just wondering what I can sort of tell you about this camera. Well, like I said before, it's got all the EOS menus, so any Canon user will be able to pick it up and start playing with it straight away. It basically looks like an EOS. All the buttons are where they should be. We've got the dial with the compensation for the exposure. We've got the shutter buttons on the top there. We've got the function button on the top, and we've also got a dial for your manual settings, your aperture priority, your shutter priority. You've also got your entry level and amateur level settings such as portrait, and you can sort of go in the menus, tweak them how you want them, and use the settings you want, you know, your sports, all them things that you need for someone that's starting out in photography and not sure. But for me, I'm straight in on the manual and it works a treat. And with these native lenses, they're perfect. They're everything you really need. But apparently there's just not enough. But for me, I feel that what I want to use this camera for, it's not fast moving stuff. It's things like this, a leisurely walk through the park. And you know, I mean, you can get a 200mm lens, which would be probably ideal, which works out roughly on a crop sensor 360, something like that. I'm not too sure, 320. But yeah, so maybe that would be good, because for me, I found that big lens in the back there's no weight ratio. It's all front heavy. It's pretty awkward. You might as well just sling a lens under your arm, I suppose. But I think for what I'm going to use it for, it will work. It's 24 megapixel. I mean, that's huge. It's huge. That's more than the 5D. So I'm glad I got the viewfinder. I really am. So, because that's helped me today with this strange weather that we have in the UK. 1 minute it's sunny, then it's raining, now it's sunny again. You know, so yes, that's why I brought that, and it works a treat. So I'll just summarise. Who is this camera sort of aimed at? I'd say the enthusiast, somebody like me that's already shooting with Canon system, that wants something to throw in his bag and just take photos. Because I feel that the big cameras, the 5Ds, you know, and the 600Ds, 70D, which is what this is, 70D inside this, they're just too big. But I feel you've got to keep it native. You've got to stick with these native lenses. With that adapter on for the EF lenses, yeah, it worked, but it was a bit of a pain in the arse. I didn't feel comfortable, you know. Did I need to bring the tripod? Has that been a bit of a pain in the arse? Yeah, maybe it has. But I don't seem to feel like that when I've got the 5D strapped to it. So that answers our question by saying it is not for that sort of photographer. Chuck it in the bag. You want to get a photo, a nice one that you can put through Photoshop and enjoy. I don't know. Let's take a few more shots.